Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled deep in the heart of India, there lived a man named Dev. Dev was an ordinary man, a farmer by trade, who had heard tales of supernatural occurrences but never truly believed in them. That was until the day he encountered something that would change his life forever. It was a cool, moonless night in the middle of summer when it all began. The villagers had gathered around a bonfire, sharing stories and laughter, celebrating a bountiful harvest. Dev, always the skeptic, sat on the outskirts, silently listening to the elders recount their eerie experiences. One old man, named Bapu, spoke in a hushed tone, his eyes filled with terror as he described a cursed forest that lay deep in the woods, not far from their village. He spoke of a ghostly figure, a woman draped in white, with long, flowing hair and eyes that glowed like embers. She was known as the Wailing Woman, and was said to haunt anyone who dared to venture into her domain. The villagers exchanged nervous glances, some scoffing at the tale, while others crossed themselves to ward off evil. Dev, however, remained unperturbed and dismissed the story as mere superstition. He couldn't fathom the idea of a vengeful spirit roaming the woods. As the night wore on, and the bonfire dwindled to embers, Dev decided to prove his bravery. He declared, "I will go into this so-called cursed forest and bring back proof that there's nothing to fear." The villagers tried to dissuade him, warning him of the dire consequences, but Dev was resolute. With a flicker of his lantern, he set off into the dark, dense forest, his heart pounding with anticipation. The forest was eerie, with ancient trees casting long, gnarled shadows, and the wind whispered haunting secrets through the leaves. Dev's footsteps seemed to echo in the stillness, and he couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. As he ventured deeper, he suddenly heard a mournful wail that sent shivers down his spine. It was the sound of a woman sobbing, and it seemed to come from all directions at once. Dev swallowed hard, his courage waning, but he pressed on, determined to prove the legend wrong. Hours passed, and Dev stumbled upon an old, dilapidated cottage hidden amidst the trees. It was there that he saw her, a woman in a flowing white sari, her hair cascading like a waterfall, and her eyes gleaming with an unearthly light. It was the Wailing Woman herself. Frozen in terror, Dev watched as she floated towards him, her wails growing louder and more sorrowful. He tried to turn and run, but his legs wouldn't obey. She reached out her cold, bony hand, her fingers brushing his cheek, sending a chill through his entire body. In a voice that was both haunting and hypnotic, she whispered, "Why have you come here, mortal?" Dev stammered, I came to prove that you're just a myth." The Wailing Woman's eyes filled with sadness, and she said, "I am no myth, but a soul trapped in this cursed forest, doomed to wander for eternity. My tears are the only solace I have." Tears streamed down her pale cheeks as she recounted her tragic tale. She had been a young bride, married to a cruel and jealous man. He had accused her of infidelity and had her banished into the forest, where she had died, heartbroken and alone. Dev felt a pang of sympathy for the tormented spirit before him. He said, "Is there anything I can do to help you find peace?" The Wailing Woman's eyes softened, and she replied, "There is one way. You must return to the village and tell my story, so that others may know the truth. Only then can my soul be freed." Dev nodded, and with that, the Wailing Woman vanished into the darkness, leaving him alone in the haunted forest. With newfound determination, Dev retraced his steps and returned to the village. He shared the story of the Wailing Woman with the villagers, recounting his encounter and the tragic tale of the woman's unjust banishment. The villagers were moved by his account and decided to pay their respects to the wailing woman's memory. They conducted a ceremony in her honor, offering prayers and apologies for the injustice she had suffered. As the villagers came together, the forest seemed to sigh with relief, and the legend of the wailing woman slowly faded away. The cursed forest lost its malevolence, and the villagers learned the importance of compassion and empathy. Dev, once a skeptic, became a believer in the supernatural and spent the rest of his days as a guardian of the forest, ensuring that the wailing woman's memory was preserved and that her spirit finally found the peace it had longed for. And so, in that small Indian village, a terrifying legend turned into a tale of redemption and humanity, reminding all who heard it that even the most frightening stories can hold a glimmer of hope and truth within them.